Hey guys, Future Man. Look, one of the biggest causes, I think, of hostility in oneself is accepting false ideas. And I think one of the worst false ideas you can accept, which is sort of a variant of altruism or collectivism, but it's a particular form of altruism or collectivism. It's the idea that one should fit in to something other than oneself. When you take an idea, like a social idea, like you should fit into this, or you should do this, or you should do whatever you're trying to apply, whatever objects in the external world you're trying to apply that to test the idea, first take the object that you're trying to apply in. Like if you say, I should fit into society, and I should fit in to myself, or I'm sorry, I should fit into this group, or I should fit in to this culture, or I should fit into to this unit, or I should fit in to something on the external world, some part of the external world. Take that idea and replace I should fit into X with I should fit into myself. And you see that it doesn't make any sense. I should fit into myself. What does that mean? I am myself. How do I fit in to myself? That's a tautology. It's like fitting into yourself, right? So I should fit into society. Well, then the first question that comes to my mind is why? Well, because why? I don't know. See? If you can't answer the question why, you shouldn't be doing that. You should fit into, my wife, we went to visit my family, my sister's getting married and stuff. And, I like visiting my brother and stuff once in a while, because we don't see them that often. I like his kids, I like my sister's kids and stuff, and her fiancé and whatever. And my brother's like 9 years older than me, and my sister's 10 years older than me, so I'm younger than they are. But I visit my mom, go to my mom's house, visit my stepdad and my family, and and I used to get really stressed out because they would say things that would disagree with my views, and I used to think I had to somehow conform to them, or somehow adopt to their views, or somehow appease their views, or somehow I don't know. It's like I had some sort of duty premise. I think it was just the idea that I had to fit into what they were saying. And the truth of the matter is that you don't. You don't have to fit into anything other than yourself, right? Other than your own needs, other than your own emotions. You don't have to fit into anything. There's no duty to do anything. So anytime anytime you could put the word duty in front of something, take that and apply it to yourself, right? If you say, I have a duty to be my brother's keeper. I have a duty to be my own keeper. I have a duty to dominate this person. Well, I have a duty to dominate myself. Well, what does that even mean, dominate yourself? I have a duty to cow down to myself. Why would I kowtow to myself? Right? It doesn't make any sense. Right? So the whole idea is insane, and you should just reject it. And all of my hostility, and I think part of hostility that you see, in the anger that you see in the world around you, it's obviously coming from some kind of false duty premise, or some kind of false variant of altruism or collectivism, that you should live for others, you should live for the group, or some ethnic group, some linguistic group, some racial group, some other person, some other thing outside of yourself. And, I think this is the major problem in psychology today. I think one of the major problems, not the only problem, but I think it's the source of so many problems in psychology, where people get alienated from their true self because they're trying to live and conform with and adhere to and agree with and adapt to and break themselves apart in order to fit or, become something that they aren't, that they just aren't. Because we are what we are. It's just a fact of reality. A is A. I am myself. I am. Right? And if you're not this other thing, and you shouldn't try to be something that you're not. And I think that's a huge problem in psychology. I think that's the major problem in psychology, is people get caught up in these ideas that they have to live for something other than themselves. And, there needs to be a much clearer, simpler book written, very basic language for people, and workbooks and worksheets and methodologies, and to get these ideas out of your brain. Because once you get those ideas out of your brain, when I go to visit my family, it's completely relaxed. I'm completely without anxiety. It doesn't matter what they say. They could be spouting communism and Marxism and Nazism, which they don't. At the most, you'll get some sort of, just typical stuff that you hear from people, right? And none of it matters. You don't have to debate with it. You don't have to challenge it, because there's no duty to do any of that. There's no duty to anyone else but yourself. And I wouldn't even use the word duty to yourself. There's no harm in saying I have a duty to myself. I mean, the worst that the only situation where I think that could be dangerous is where you're like contemplating committing suicide or something like that. I don't know. I'd have to think about that more. But I wouldn't take the term literally that you have a duty to yourself, but you do have a responsibility, I think, to yourself, and to create your own standards and to define your own standards, and not that anything goes, but that you have certain standards, and you can explain why you have these standards. It's not just like, I accept this standard because it's written in the Ten Commandments, or I accept this standard because I was told to do this by some person, or I accept this standard because some authority figure in the culture told me to do this. No, you should explain to yourself why, if I was on a deserted island, why would I accept this standard? Always go back to that deserted island thing and say, if I go to that situation, you think, would I accept this if I was on a deserted island? Why or why not? And you can get rid of, it takes a long time, but you can get rid of all of these duty premises and these factors that are controlling you, that are forcing you and splitting you and dividing you and ripping you apart and harming you in so many ways. Yes.